Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the matchup of the third game of the series between the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighters and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Last night's game was one of the best games of the NPB season that we've witnessed. It ended up being an 8-7 victory and come from behind victory for the fighters over the Hawks, even the series here at one apiece. I'll give you first of all the starting lineups from the visitors from Hokkaido. Leading off and in left field is number 53, Shun Mizutani. Batting second and playing first base is number 21, Kotaro Kiyomiya. Hitting third at third base is number 30, Yuya Gunji. The cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 99, Franmil Reyes. Batting fifth and playing in center field is number 7, Go Matsumoto. Batting sixth at second base is number 38, Kaz Ishii. Hitting seventh in right field is number 66, Chusei Manami. Hitting eighth and playing shortstop is number 4, Daigo Kamikawa Kabata. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 23, Tori Fushimi. They're going to be facing the lefty, Tomohisa Ozeki, who's got a 6-2 record on the year. He's worked 77 innings. He's allowed 56 hits, 20 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 18 and struck out 50, and he's got himself an earned run average of 2.34. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Hokkaido. Now the starting lineup for the home team, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Leading off and playing second base is number 0, Hikaru Kawase. Batting second and playing shortstop is number 6, Kenta Imamiya. Hitting third and playing third base is number 24, Ryoya Kurihara. In the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 25, Hotaka Yamakawa. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 3, Kensuke Kondo. Hitting sixth in right field is number 31, Tomoya Masaki. Batting seventh and playing in left field is number 32, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Hitting eighth and doing the catching is number 62, Takashi Umino. And batting ninth and in center field is number 23, Yukio Shudo. And they're going to be facing the ace of the fighters' staff. That will be Hiromi Ito, who has an 8-3 record. He's worked 110 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 97 hits, 40 runs, 33 have been earned. He's walked 28 and struck out 92, and he's got an earned run average of 268. Well, those are your starting lineups. Our friend Jeremy is in the house. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, and we'll be chatting with the chat. Hopefully you guys can stick around for some great ball here tonight, as it is going to be the Hawks and the Fighters when we return right after this. Appreciate you guys for being here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. The left-handed starter for the Hawks, Tomohisa Ozeki, is just completing his warm-up tosses as he is ready to face the fighters here in the top of the first inning. It'll be Mizutani, Kiyomiya, and Gunji to get things going. Our friend Jeremy, who had popped in at the top of the stream, he had asked us a couple of questions or sent me a couple of messages prior to the ball game, and he said, can you explain some of the differences in the rules between Major League Baseball and the NPB? And we'll try to do some of that over the first couple innings here to give you the differences between Major League Baseball and the NPB as well. The first thing is what I would say is the ball. The ball that is manufactured by Rawlings in the United States is a little bit bigger than the standard ball that Mizuno uses. Slightly smaller, so it has better grip. A little easier to manipulate the spin. You can make a little bit of different changes with that. So that is one of the first things. Well, we're ready to get this one going here, so we'll talk about this as we move through the ball game. The first pitch of the game is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul just off the catcher in front of home plate. The count is quickly 0-1 to Mizutani. Mizutani is hitting .313 on the season, 4 homers and 28 RBIs. He really announced himself during the interleague play. He was absolutely fantastic. The fighters, as the lefty Ozeki rocks into the windup and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. He took a lot off of that pitch. Now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Ozeki ready to go again. He rocks into the windup and he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that just misses up and in. The count goes to 1-2. Another difference that you see with the NPB and Major League Baseball, the fields are a little bit smaller in the NPB. And probably the field that they say is the most Major League ready is the one in Kobe, where the Buffaloes play some of their home games. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. Ranging to his left is Imamiya, and he makes the throw as he makes the play, and he retires Mizutani for the first out of the inning. It's a ground out 6-3, so 1 up and 1 away here. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Kentaro Kiyomiya. Other things that we can also focus on is, as we said, about the field size. So the one in Kobe at Hodomoto Field is, they say, is the most field that is most Major League ready in terms of dimensions. In terms of the structure, it's still quite, I would say, quite old. It's kind of a neat place to see a game. Got a chance to see one last year there. There was a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Kiyomiya. Kentaro Kiyomiya batting here. He is hitting .276 on the season with 5 homers and 21 RBIs. He had counted for half the runs driven in last night's ball game as he swings at a fastball and taps that foul behind home plate. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of the other parks, per se, are maybe not necessarily Major League dimensions, and rather bandboxes to a lot of people in North America. There was a fastball that backs the hitter Kiyomiya off the plate, and the count now goes to 2-1. Also, too, is the strike zone, they say, is a little bit more narrow in the Japanese game, but that's kind of debatable, I would have to say. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first. Yamakawa fields it. He flips it to the pitcher covering. And that is going to go in the books as a ground out 3-1 for the second out of the inning. So 2 fighters up and 2 fighters down, and it's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Yuya Gunji. Something else that is interesting is that, unlike in North America, there are games that can end in ties in the regular season and also in the playoffs. Except that if it's in the Japan series, if it goes beyond the 7th game, then games don't end in ties. But the ties are after 12 innings. So I got a chance. I was at a Major League game earlier this evening and watching that. And when I look at it and I say, well, you know, they've got the ghost runner at second. Game ended up going 11 innings and was finished in 11. As there's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Gunji. Are they better off just playing 3 innings of real baseball and letting it end in a tie after 12? And that way there, you don't have to expedite the potential for a victory or to decide a winner. Breaking ball swung on it as tap foul just off on the first base side. The count now goes to 0-2 on Gunji. So 12 inning ties. And the other thing about that too is that, you know, with the 12 inning tie is, you think about it, at the Major League game tonight that I was at, in the 7th inning, they were already closing up the food stand. Everything was getting packed away. And I'm not just talking about, you know, the beer, but I'm talking about just the food in general. But if you know the game is going to go 12 potentially, as there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded to short, fielded by Imamiya, he throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's going to be a ground out 6-3. He is gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And the fighters go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 1st inning. It is the fighters, no score, and the Hawks coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. I'll keep talking about the rule differences in the NPB and in Major League Baseball. And our friend Trevor Parker in the house tonight. We welcome you to the stream as well. We'll be back in just a few, everybody. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the first inning. Our friend says, Jeremy says, where is everybody? Well, tonight, usually Friday nights are better draws for us for whatever reason. Is usually Saturday they have the UFC fights or boxing matches, and we often get a later arriving crowd as the game did start a little bit early, but it does impact some of that. So a lot of people start making their way in around 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. And that is generally how our Saturday nights seem to go. So to have a few people in the chat here, it's great to be in here as it is. So we're just talking about some of the rule differences as we'll chat as we move along here. It's going to be coming to bat. It'll be Kawase, Imemiya, and Kurihara to face the right-hander Hiromi Ito. We're talking about the differences between Major League rules and rules in the NPB. As the right-hander Ito ready to go. He kicks and he delivers. The first pitch is a fastball that misses up and away. Count is 1-0 to Kawase. Kawase batting .263 on the year, no homers and 5 runs driven in. He bats from the left side. I really like his bat. He's got this mushroom handle at the end, really, really thick knob. As the fastball is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1 to Kawase. Defensively tonight, for the fighters, from left to right field, it is Mizutani and left center fielders Matsumoto and Manami is in right. As Ito kicks and delivers, it is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Drifting back and then backpedaling to make the catch is Matsumoto, and that is going to retire Kawase for the first out of the inning. So 1 hawk up and 1 hawk down here, and that'll bring up the shortstop Kenta Imemiya. Just finishing off defensively for the fighters tonight from first to third, it is Kiyomiya at first. The second baseman is Ishii. Kamikawa Kabata is the shortstop with Gunji at third, and the battery is of Ito and Fushimi. So Kenta Imemiya stepping in. He's hitting .262 on the year, 3 homers and 23 runs driven in. He takes a first pitch breaking ball upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Jeremy had asked the question about differences in the NPB and the MLB, and I said I'd be chatting about it throughout the ball game here as the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. The count runs even to 1-1. League format itself, or the way that the game is constructed, is that you've got 162 games in Major League Baseball. There's 143 in the NPB. As the 1-1 is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down and away. Count now goes to 2-1. The top 3 teams in each league make the playoffs. So you have the Pacific and the Central. 2 plays 3 in each league, and the winner of that will go on to play the champion. As the pitch is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and now the count's 2-2 on Imemiya. Each team in Major League Baseball has 26 man on their roster. They have a 40-man roster as they are under club control. In the Japanese league, they have 70 players signed to professional contracts between the first team and the farm team. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped up over on the right side. Drifting back underneath it is the first baseman, Kiyomiya. He's there to make the catch. And that will retire Imemiya for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to Ryoya Kurihara. When you think of Major League Baseball, the MLB has 5-man rotations. The NPB has 6-man rotations. Also, too, there's an import rule for players. You can have, some teams have had as many as 8 imports signed. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Ryoya Kurihara. You can have 4 on a game sheet, but only 3 on the field at one time. So here comes the 0-1 pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2. And I kind of like that in a way. You think about it. The Chicago White Sox, I was talking about this with a fellow I was having breakfast with. He was from Dayton, Ohio. Just happened to meet this fella and his wife, and we were shooting a breeze about stuff. As there's a fastball swung on and is lined right to the third baseman, Gunji. And that is going to retire Ryoya Kurihara for the third out of the inning. 3 up and 3 away pretty quickly for the Hawks. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're now through 1 complete. Fighters, nothing. Hawks, nothing. Stick around. I'll be back in just a couple moments to continue talking about the different stuff between the MLB and the NPB. We return after this. Hang tight, everybody. It is Hawks and Fighters locked at zeros as we go to the top of the second inning. Hang tight. We'll be back in 30 after these musical tunes. We'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the second inning, and it is locked at zeros. I was starting to make a comment about the import players and how I kind of liked it in the Japanese league, and I think the Americans should consider it for Major League Baseball. I know they used to have import rules on how many imports you can have in your entire system. There's a first pitch fastball delivered to Franmil Reyes. Is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Reyes leading it off tonight. He had himself a big pinch hit RBI last night as he's hitting .231 with 8 homers and 25 RBIs. He swings at a fastball and lifts this foul down the right field line. It's going to float itself into the temporary seats, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Reyes. So I'm starting to say about the import players, just jumping sports for a minute. Doc Rivers was doing a podcast with Bill Simmons on I don't know if they call it the BS report or whatever they call it these days. As the lefty Ozeki delivers, it's a slow breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. And he said about the NBA, the American players, the skill is not being developed at the youth level. They're playing AAU ball, and they're playing 5-6 days a week and maybe practicing once, whereas the Europeans are practicing more than they play. And there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Reyes is in the book. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So one gone here, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Go Matsumoto. He was very critical. He said, like the NBA's got to wake up because the Europeans and the Africans and, the Asian players are coming over and taking the jobs of the American player. And so, too, in a lot of ways, you see that in Major League Baseball. You got a lot of the Latins. You got a lot of the players that are coming, some players from Asia and different parts of the world. And they are being better developed than what is being developed in the United States domestically, as their first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down to Matsumoto. So Matsumoto hitting .256 with a homer and 15 RBIs. So in the NPB, you're only allowed 3 import players on the field at one time. That basically helps force the teams to play the domestic players and develop them. Fastball swung on, grounded over to Matsumoto, or Imamiya fields it, throws to first. That is going to retire Matsumoto. Ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Kazishi. Got to give you the defensive alignment for the Hawks here before we forget tonight. We've already done it for the Fighters. From left to right field for the Hawks, it is Yanagamachi in left. The center fielder is Shudo with Masaki in right. Around the horn from first to third, Yamakawa at first. The second baseman is Kawase. Shortstop Imamiya, and third base Kuriara. The battery of Ozeki and Umino tonight. So here's the first pitch delivered to Kazishi, and it's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner. A called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. We were talking, as we said, about the development of the players. There was a fastball swung on and grounded foul just past the first base coach's box. The count is now 0-2. And so when you think of in Japan, the way that they're trying to develop philosophically their players, you've got to be, if you're an import and you come in, you have to be way better than, and I mean way better than the teams that you are playing against. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the lefty kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. way down the third baseline, and the count remains at 0-2. And that's sort of the philosophy. If you've got everything all being equal, a import player and a domestic player, import player's got to come in and pretty much knock them out of that spot. Here's the 0-2 pitch. As the lefty kicks and delivers, fastball swung on it, is lifted into left field, turning back and giving chase on the warning track, leaping and making the catch into the wall is the left fielder, Yanagamachi. Oh, wow. He had to go back and get that. That ball kept carrying off the bat of the second baseman, Ishii. What a nice play by Yanagamachi, and that is going to retire Ishii for the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the second inning. Your score is the Fighters 0 and the Hawks 0. We'll be back in just a couple of months. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat here for the Fighters in their half of the inning. Chusei Manami, Daigo Kawakabata, and Tori Fushimi come to bat. Our friend Jeremy asks, who's everybody's favorite NPB team? I know that Zay in here is a fan of the Fighters. He comes in regular. And after that, not sure who everybody else is fist pumping for. We get a lot of people who are of the gambling variety, so they like the winners. As the first pitch is a fastball at 95, taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Check that I gave you the Fighters coming to bat. It's actually Yamakawa, Kondo, and Masaki. Sorry about that, gentlemen. So no balls and 1 strike. And ladies that are also with us, as there's a split finger that swung on and missed. And the count is now 0-2. So I don't have a particular team that I have attached myself to that I say, hey, I really like this particular team. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball that misses outside. The count goes to 1-2. There's a general populace. The team that is very well supported in Japan is the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. I don't know if Toyo is still their sponsor, but the Hiroshima Carp are definitely a team that are as well supported. There is a split figure pitch waved on and missed, and Yamakawa in the books for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Kensuke Kondo. So Kondo comes to the plate. He's hitting .323, 15 homers, and 54 runs driven in. As he is a big part of this group here that can swing the bat, especially when they have a healthy Yuki Yanagita. We were talking a little bit about, the teams. We said about the favorite NPB team that is probably the least followed, does not have a good following, is the Oryx Buffaloes. Buffaloes have not had a great following, even though they have won a Japan Series title and lost in the finals a couple times. So 3 appearances in a row. They just don't seem to have that huge fan base. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to second. Fielded neatly by Ishii. Throws to first, and Kondo is retired on a ground out 4-3. So 2 up and 2 away here for the Hawks. It's going to leave it up to the right fielder, Tomoya Masaki. Spaceman says, that's my boys. Yeah, it's interesting. And I think maybe because the Blue Wave was the team that played in Kobe and the Kintetsu Buffaloes were the team that was playing in Osaka, and they merged together to form one. And I almost want to call it a fragmented fan base. So people are not as happy to be following them as regular, as the first offering is on its way here to Masaki, and he swings and fouls that one away. Count is 0-1. I think the Saitama Cebu Lions fan base is down. Not only are they not a very good club, but I remember going there last year, and when I go again there this year, it'll be easy peasy. You can walk up and get tickets day of the game. I'm not really worried about those guys selling out or not selling out. As the 0-1 is on its way, it is a fastball that just misses inside. The count now goes to 1-1 on Masaki. Chibolote Marines seem like they have a decent following. Yokohama seems like they have a decent following. The Fighters and the Eagles up in the Northeast, I don't know what the vibe is there. I mean, it's kind of the only game in town as that fastball swung on and fouled away. I would say that when we watch games of the Tohoku Ball Club there, the Golden Eagles, they don't necessarily always sell out. Their attendance to me is, it wanes a bit. I think if you walked up, you could probably get tickets on most nights. But certainly in the Tokyo area, it could be a little bit more of a challenge depending on who you're going to see other than Saitama. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That is a split finger pitch that misses, and I know Fushimi didn't like the call because he held the glove there. 2-2. Jeremy Orr said, I thought about the Dragons because of Mr. Baseball. Yeah, with the Tom Selleck movie years ago. But the Dragons have just been scuffling over the last few years. They're on their way to being the anchor of the Central League, despite a good start this year. Fastball misses outside. It's now 3-2 to Masaki. So it really depends, I guess, on some of the fan base. You think of Fukuoka, they've been drawing really well, but they've had some pretty good teams over the last 7-8 years, 10 years. Here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball, take it for a called third strike. Oh, I'm not sure what Masaki was looking at. That's going to retire the Hawks again. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. This game's skipping along pretty quick. We're moving to the top of the third inning, locked at zeros. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight. Spending your Saturday night with Last Raps Baseball. We'll be right back in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Chusei Minami, Daigo Kamikawa Kabata, and Tori Fushimi, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat for the Fighters here in inning number 3. Chatting with the chat and talking about some different stuff here. As we were talking about the comparison of Major League Baseball rules and as well as the NPB. We talked about some of that stuff. Also, the style of play is definitely different. They have a little bit more small ball, and some of that has to do with the size of the athletes. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, when you think of the Latin players, the Dominican, the Venezuelan, Puerto Rican players, the North American players, just the physical size of the athletes compared to what you have in Japan, they can really dominate games because of their physical size. So they got to play a little bit more small ball in Japan. So breaking ball misses down and in. So when they bring players in, they bring guys in who have to mash. So Chusei Minami, who takes the ball down, he's hitting .251 on the year. He's got 14 homers and 45 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch is on the way from Ozeki. He kicks and delivers. Fastball misses outside. It's now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Our friend Jeremy asked, why ties in the playoffs? That's a good question. I'm not really sure what the logic is behind that. I mean, first one to get the wins, I would think, is the case. It's usually a sprint to 4 wins. So if you tie a couple of times, it's still a sprint to 4 wins. Might take you 8 or 9 games to do it. That's generally how it would work. So you could end up with a couple of ties early on in the series. You'd still be playing a number of games. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's ball 4. As Minami's got himself a leadoff walk. That's the first base runner of the ball game here tonight. It's going to bring it the shortstop, Daigo Kawakabata, and one would have to think we're going to see that small ball in effect right away. So Kawakabata coming to the plate. He's hitting .248, 1 homer and 8 RBIs on the season. He bats from the left side, does the starting shortstop of the Fighters. No sign yet, squaring to bunt. As the lefty Ozeki ready to deliver, he kicks and fires. It's a slow breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Found that to be a little bit strange that last night we had such a audience that was being pushed out. Tonight, really not getting a lot of push out from YouTube. Maybe YouTube doesn't like us tonight. Last night, maybe they found us quite nice, but we're really getting we're really getting it pushed out a lot yesterday. As there's a fastball that misses. They appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say Kawakabata didn't go. Count goes to 1-1. It is always good to get different people that come into the stream and listen and join in. But as we said before, also too, tonight, usually Saturday night is wrestling night or UFC night or boxing night. As there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Kawakabata. Our friend Jeremy says, sorry for so many questions. It's okay. It's all good. That's what we're here for. We like to help out. Obviously, the love of the sport of the NPB for most people that are here, and some people will see it a little differently. There's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count now remains at 1-2. Hopefully you guys didn't hear me coughing there. I hit the hot button, but I have a different setup here tonight. So when I mute the mic, it's a little bit different than what I normally do. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Kawakabata waits here on the offering from the lefty. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses outside. It runs the count now even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you get a chance, check out some of our shorts. We'll be posting up some unique ones here in the next couple of days. I got some good video from tonight. So it'll be a little bit more different than what we have. But if for all our Americans friends out there, I've got the national anthem that was done tonight. It was absolutely unbelievable. As the fella who was performing the national anthem was also doing a painting at the same time. When his painting was finished, it was absolutely exquisite. I think our American friends would appreciate that. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And Kawakabata is in the books for the first out of the inning, so 1 gone here, and that'll bring up the catcher, Tori Fushimi. Trying to get that one up tonight or maybe even tomorrow. So 1 of the books, that's going to bring Fushimi to the plate. He's hitting .266 on the season, no homers and 13 RBIs. Jeremy says, I like the games I've seen and heard on YouTube so far. Well, we appreciate that, Jeremy. As I say, sometimes we get people who listen live. We get people who listen on delay. We have different ones. And obviously, some people will listen what we call the Central League games. We don't do a lot of Central League games. There's a fastball that misses down for a ball. The count is 1-0 to Fushimi. Although in saying that, I think we're probably going to add a few more to the docket coming up here. Between now and the end of the season, we'll add some different games, some different ones. So 1 ball and no strikes as the lefty leans in and gets the sign from his catcher, Umino. Runner at first is Manami. 1 gone here in inning number 3, the top half. Now Ozeki delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. And some of the people that are here, they, depending where they're at globally, they will listen to us make the calls. Sometimes people will sync it up to their game that they're watching, because if you can catch a feed, it's usually in Japanese, and syncing up the commentary with the Japanese commentary, it helps people be able to listen in as well. Here comes the 2-0 offering as Ozeki works set. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to third. Fielded on the backhand by Kurihara. He throws to first. It's the only play he's going to have. Advancing to second is Manami on the ground out. So it's a ground out 5-3. 2 in the books, and it'll bring up the top of the order in Shin Mizutani. My friend Jeremy says he's down in Georgia in the United States. The great state of Georgia. They've been producing some pretty good baseball players over the last few years. Certainly some young ones, and some have not quite hit their full stride yet, like Jordan Walker, the St. Louis Cardinals, as well as Riley Green of the Detroit Tigers. Georgia baseball players, but baseball in the state of Georgia has been pretty good over the years. Of course, the Georgia Peach, Ty Cobb, would be one such player who is a Hall of Famer. So this brings Mizutani to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to short his first time up. Runner at second is Manami. Here's the pitch. Slow breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Do like the state of Georgia myself. I've been through there many times on the way to Florida and different places. A lot of people like that part of the country. So no balls and 1 strike as the lefty holds himself set, and he does a inside move and chases Manami back to second base. So no balls and 1 strike. Haven't seen our friend from Japan in here yet tonight. Titus hasn't checked in. So that breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Mizutani. Originally, we were going to do the ball game between the Buffaloes and the Lions, or Buffaloes and the Marines tonight. That was what we kept saying in our feed last night. And the game last night between these two teams was such a great ball game. It would have been such a disservice not to repeat the game here tonight. Hopefully, tonight's game was half as good as yesterday. That was the decision we figured that we would come back to. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count is now 1-2 to Mizutani. That other game is underway. It's the top of the 3rd inning. At the Kyocera Dome, it is 1-0 for the Marines. But these two teams are in 1st and 3rd, and the Marines and the Buffaloes are 2nd and 5th. So we figured, well, let's stay with the top of the table teams. It could be a more entertaining affair, especially with Ito on the mound and Ozeki, both pretty good arms for both of these teams. Fastball misses way outside. The count goes to 2-2 on Mizutani. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Try to get some other nuances about the Japanese game too as well. One of the other things that we saw the other night, as there is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Mizutani in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and I'll come back after this half inning and talk about one of the ejections we saw the other night. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're through 2.5. Your score is the Hawks 0 and the Fighters 0. Stick around, everybody. Hawks coming to bat in the bottom of the 3rd. We'll give you that when we return in just a few. Appreciate you for being here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We're skipping to the bottom of the third inning. Coming to bat for the Hawks will be the bottom third of the batting order. That means Yanagamachi, Umino, and Shudo to face the right-hander Hiromi Ito, who's just completing his warm-up tosses. I started to say about the ejection that happened last weekend. We were calling one of the games, and one of the pitchers had drilled somebody in the head. And when that happened, it was an automatic ejection. That's what happens in the NPB. You get a fastball into the head, and you are tossed from the game, whether it's accidentally or on purpose, or accidentally on purpose. That is a automatic removal of the pitcher from the game. I've only seen it twice in the past couple of years, so it does happen, but it's not very often. As the first pitch from Ito is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses, and the count is 1-0. I think there should be some latitude to that, really. If you're getting hit with a breaking ball like Ito just threw here a moment ago, you get hit in the head with a looping breaking ball. I don't know about that. Fastball, I can understand. Okay, sure, you're going to make that rule. As the fastball is taken for a called strike here, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Yanagamachi. So if you have that situation where somebody gets plugged in the head with a heater, yeah, okay, let's toss him from the ball game. There's a breaking ball swung on, and this is lifted into left field. Moving over toward the line is Mizutani, and he's got room as he's into foul territory, and he runs into the wall. So that is going to retire Yanagamachi for the first out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away. That's 7 retired here by Ito. So Jeremy asked the question, what does everybody like about Japanese baseball? When you go to the games in Japan, how about some fresh food? I was lamenting about some of the ball games I've been to in the United States this year and in Canada. And just the food, it's frozen, it's not well prepared. I go to a ball game or an event. So that first pitch is taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to Umino. Umino batting 177 with a homer and 6 RBIs. Waiting here on the offering from the righty Ito, who kicks and fires a fastball that just misses outside. I want good food. And I'm not talking about, filet mignon and steak and whatever else. I want good ballpark food. I want my hot dog done right. I don't want a soggy bun. I don't want a limp hot dog that's been sitting steamed for who knows how long. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2. I want good food, good ballpark food. And I'm not talking about nutritious. I'm talking about, if I want a hot dog, I want it done right. I want my bun to be nice and either toasted or where it's a solid, fresh bun. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and Umino is gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Yukio Shudo. When you go to the games in Japan, it was the first time I've ever experienced that food would sell out. So they don't freeze stuff and they don't keep stuff extra. If you're not there early and you don't get what you want, they will sell out. I found that fascinating. So if you are in for a certain type of noodle and they run out, it's gone. It's done. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Yukio Shudo. Shudo hitting .253. He's got a couple of homers and 18 RBIs. And he's got 33 stolen bases already this year, which is getting close to the total of last year. Fastball swung on. This is ripped down the right field line. It's going to get down. It's into the corner. Manami's going to chase it, and Shudo's off to the races. Here comes the relay. He gets it in, and Shudo is going to stop at second with a double. So a 2-out double. That's the first hit of the ball game here for the Hawks. And in fact, that's the first hit for either team in this one, as Manami had reached based on a base on balls. My friend Trevor Parker said that was pretty good. Kind of one of the most unique things that I had last year. I was at the Tokyo Dome, and it was chicken, curry, and a quail egg that was kind of, I don't like to say put in a dough, but it was dipped into I guess a dough, and then it was fried. That had like nuts on the top of it, and when you ate into it, it was unbelievable. So the curry, the chicken, the quail egg, it just melted in your mouth. There's a breaking ball delivered to Karo Kawase. It's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. It sounds gross, but it was really good. In Yokohama, I had a I had shaved ice with mandarin oranges because it was so hot. And I was just like, anything that I could take on, any type of water, fluid, whatever I could use. And that was refreshing in itself, these fresh mandarins all over a bed of ice. So when you ever go to Hawaii, if you've been to Hawaii, they have these shaved ice, especially on the islands of Maui or the other ones. It's kind of a cool experience. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball, I'll take it for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. But, different types of noodles and different types of food, and maybe not so much the beverages, but the food prepared fresh. You're not getting the day-olds or the 3-day-olds or the week-olds or the frozen stuff that's been hanging around the freezer. You're getting good prepared food. That would be very similar in the Japanese grocery stores as well, as they're not giving you the processed stuff that's been held over for a couple of weeks. You're getting the fresh stuff on the daily. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count remains 0-2 to Kawase. So that would be one thing. If you're at the games too, I was talking to my buddy tonight. We were at the ball game, and we were sitting there, and he says, you don't see the people walking up and down the aisles selling the food like you used to. And I said, well, in Japan, you got the beer girls, and I was showing them, and they got these coolers on their back, and they're literally running up and down the aisles selling the beer to the patrons, like full-on sprints up and down the aisles. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. First of all, it's a heck of a workout because they're in great shape by doing it. But the people are getting whatever it's Asahi or whatever it would be, Kirin beer or whoever the sponsor would be. I'm not a big beer drinker at games, so I like to go watch the game. I'd rather not necessarily have a beer while I'm there. It'll probably put me to sleep. But I can tell you when I was in Saitama, I had a couple of spritzers. I don't know what they were, but they were cold and they were great. Because when you're sitting in Saitama, it's like sitting in a bowl of soup because that breaking ball is fouled away. And the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hikaru Kawase. 2 gone here in the 3rd inning. It's a 2-out double by Yukio Shudo that has him at second base. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the second baseman Kawase as he bats here in the last half of the 3rd inning. Base hit here could most likely score Shudo from second. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as Ito kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, its pop foul behind home plate. He's going to keep the count at 1-2, and the battle is going to continue. It's going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat, forthcoming to Kawase. But when you get an opportunity to go to Japan, it's just like going to different ballparks in North America. One of the more interesting food pieces that I've had when I was in San Diego, one of the things that they say, hey, what do you get when you're in San Diego? They have a seafood burrito. And so if you're in San Diego and you want to get yourself something different at the ballpark, that seafood burrito is loaded. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second, fielded by Ishii as he backs up. Throws to Kiyomiya. That's going to retire Kawase on a ground out 4-3. And the first third of this ballgame is in the books, and it's gone quietly. Unlike last night's cracker of an affair, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left the board. We're now through 3 complete innings. It is the Fighters no score and the Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 4th in just a few. Appreciate you guys for bouncing in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is the top of the fourth inning. We are locked at zeros here between the Hawks and the Fighters. Must be a bit of a hangover from last night's cracker of an affair. If you missed it last night, you can always go back and listen to the replay. But 8-7 was the final. The Hawks had jumped out to a 6-1 lead early on, and the Fighters had come back, ended up winning that game late with a couple in the eighth inning. So the Fighters here are looking to take 2 out of 3 if they can win tonight, as are the Hawks, as this is the rubber game of the series. And it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to the first baseman his first time up. Left-hander against the left-hander as he rocks into the motion and delivers. Slow breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 1-1. Only 39 pitches through the first 3 innings for Ozeki. He's been very economical in this one so far, hardly breaking a sweat. As the lefty rocks into the windup and he kicks and fires. And it's a breaking ball that just misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. We're talking about the food around the NPB and the beer and the different stuff, and just the way, and I would also use the word pride. Sometimes I think in North America, we lack some pride sometimes. As that fastball is swung on and looped foul over on the third base side. The count's now 2-2. They can go to the ball games and, just the pride of the workers that are there. And, I talked to a friend of mine who was involved with one of the major league teams, and they were saying, their strategy of way that they deal with folks. As there's a fastball swung on, it's grounded up the middle, fielded by Imamiya, moving to his left. He throws to first. Kiyomiya is retired on a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Yuya Gunji. And I was talking about strategy with him, about how they would hire people and how they would bring people to work. And one of the things he said is the people that are working in the luxury suites are the best staffers that they have, because what they'll do is they start them off on the floor, and if they're any good, they'll move them up and they'll promote, because obviously the people that are spending the big bucks are the ones in the luxury suites. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Camping out underneath it is Shudo, and he's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Gunji for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here on the top of the fourth, and that's going to leave it all up to the designated hitter, Franmil Reyes. So if you're in the luxury boxes, you can expect that you are going to get top drawer service. If you are the rank and file sitting in the regular seats or having to go up and get your food yourself, it becomes a little bit dicey. And I say that because not that all the people that are there are bad. It's just that some of the people, they have to earn their way into the better spots. As that fastball swung on and grounded foul on the third base side, count is 0-1. Jeremy Orr asked the question. He says, who's the best team in the Central League? The best team in the Central League right now is the Hiroshima Carp. Competing for the top spots with them are the Giants and the Tigers, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back by Reyes. The count now goes to 0-2. So what are my thoughts on that? I think that Carp have a really good pitching staff. I'm surprised they're doing as well as they are. I don't really like their offense. I think they got a lot of question marks on offense. 0-2 pitch is a fastball that misses under the hands, and the count goes to 1-2. Our friend Garen asked the question. He goes, I can't find the score anywhere. Did Oryx win last night? So a couple of things there for you, Garen, and my advice is, number one is, if you're on Twitter, you should try to follow the NPB Reddit. The fella does it in English, as that fastball misses for a ball, and the count's 2-2 on Reyes. He does it on the daily, and that is really, really good stuff. The NPB website will always keep you up to date, and you can get the day before the schedules. But yes, the Buffaloes won 5-1 last night. As that fastball misses down, and then it's now 3-2 to Reyes. So 3-2 is the count. But back to the Carp for a minute. I really think the Carp's pitching staff I really like their starters. They've got about 4 guys over there that I got a lot of time for. Murray Giants are for more of a balanced attack. I like some of their starters. I like some of their bullpen. I do like their offense. I like where they're at right now. The Tigers, I'm not so sure, as there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Reyes is going to be retired for the third out of the inning. So that is going to do it here for the Fighters as they go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now through 3.5 innings. Your score is the Hawks nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Nothing as we move to the bottom of the fourth. We'll be back in 30. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Hawks. It means Kenta Imamiya, Ryoya Kurihara, and Hotaka Yamakawa to face the right-hander Hiromi Ito, who begins his 4th inning of work. 38 pitches for the right-hander through the first 3, as he delivers a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Kenta Imamiya. Imamiya is 0 for 1 tonight. He popped out to first, his only time up, as the right-hander ready to go again as he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. We haven't looked that far ahead. I'm not sure when we're going to be back on the airwaves. We'll be traveling again this week in the early part of the week. So more than likely, it'll be a Friday night or Saturday ball game in the NPB next week, because that fastball is swung on and is popped foul. Giving chase was Kiyomiya, but he's going to watch it drift into the seats, and the count remains at 0-2. So we are probably going to be doing the live streams again Friday, Saturday next weekend. But to be honest, I haven't really looked that far ahead. If anything, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Probably not Wednesday, but Thursday or Friday, possibly doing an MLB game. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander delivers a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2 to Imamiya. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And then, not 100% sure. I'm debating even next weekend, maybe foregoing one of them. I was thinking about maybe going to see the Mariners and the Mets. And that's going to hinge on a pitching matchup, as there's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Imamiya stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched that go by for out number 1, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Ryoya Kurihara. Nice pitch there by Hiromi Ito. And if our mathematics is correct, that would be the 4th strikeout tonight recorded by the Hokkaido right-hander. Now standing in is Kurihara, who is 0 for 1 tonight. He lined to the third baseman his first time up as he swings at a split finger pitch. This ball is driven into deep right field. This ball is going to be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. A home run for Kiyomiya as he deposits that one about 7-8 rows into the seats. Home run here for the Hawks, and that is going to open up the scoring with a 1-0 lead. So a home run here in the first run of the ball game for either team, only the second hit recorded tonight by both teams. Garen says he turned in for an MLB game. Yeah, we usually do. We did a couple of last week. I'd say I try to do about 15 to 20 a year. This year, didn't do so much. I should have done some in April and May, and next year I'll go back to it because it's usually April, May, and June when I'm in the daytime when I'm usually around a lot. So there's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. And then save the weekends for the NPB stuff. We could rattle off a whole ton of games. I don't have one particular team. Sometimes I like to stay with teams for a series. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is 1-1 to Yamakawa. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Sometimes I look at some of the folks that do different games or different teams. They have one following. There's some guys who do the Yankee games. There's guys who do the Dodger games. There's a split finger swung on it, is popped up over on the first base side, giving chase is Kiyomiya. That is also going to drift into the seats, and the count is 1-2 to Yamakawa. And no disrespect to the guys that are doing it. I look at what they're doing, and they follow. They have a large following, but they don't necessarily do a great job of the description of the game. But that being said, they do have an audience, and there's people who are entertained by them, and that is something that they like to do. There's a breaking ball that swung on and pop foul. It's going to reach the seats. The count remains at 1-2. We can't stay with one team, and we can't do a dedicated schedule like that. So that precludes us from having or developing a greater following, I do believe. Spaceman Spiff says if you need to find the scores, literally just type it into Google. Yeah, that's also true. There's a fastball ticket for a called third strike. Oh, Yamakawa, I'm not sure what he was looking at. That's the second time in this inning here that a Hawks hitter has gone down looking. Of the strikeouts tonight recorded by Ito, 3 of the strikeouts so far have been of the watching variety. He's got some nasty stuff going on here tonight. So that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Kensuke Kondo. And Kondo is 0 for 1 as he grounded to the second baseman his first time up. And Spaceman is giving you the exact piece. He's telling you that they give you a full list of current scores in past games. So there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. We used to have a pretty good go-to site, the hosted site with all the scores, and I used to love that site. It gives you all the summaries and everything else. It was in English and also other sports as well. And I don't know if the site is out of order, but it used to be really good for the NPB. Here's the 0-1 pitch, breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count now runs even to 1-1 on Kondo. Spaceman says he needs to get the Discord server started for you. Well, I've got the Discord stuff in place. I just don't have anything that we've done with it. So, as I say, I've not really big into that stuff, and so it's part of it's my own ignorance. Is there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. And I say this because it's been a little bit hard. He says that a friend of his has passed away, so he's been busy. Yeah, I can understand that. That makes it tough. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 here to Kondo. Masaki waiting his turn on deck. If Kondo is able to reach base, he will be batting next. As the right-hander Ito kicks and delivers. It is a split-finger pitch swung on, grounded softly up the middle, fielded neatly by the shortstop Kamikawa Kabata, and Kondo is gone on a groundout 6-3. But the scoring has been opened here in this one, as it is Ryoya Kurihara who had a solo shot off of Ito. They got 1 run in the inning on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Now through 4 complete, your score is the Hawks 1, the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. The top of the 5th is just around the corner. We appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be right back here in just a couple moments on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and the support you give to our channel and the energy that you bring. Our friend Garen is there as well. Same thing to Jeremy. If anybody is listening here, obviously we do have an audience that likes to listen and to help others enjoy the love of the NPB, and hopefully you guys can enjoy that as well. That's something that kind of bugs me a little bit. We were at the game tonight, and they're showing launch angle and vertical this and vertical that and OPS and all that sort of stuff. They're not even showing batting averages anymore, and it actually annoys me. I had this little bit of a rant some time back as the first pitch is a fastball that misses down and in to go Matsumoto. OPS is a statistic that bothers me a little bit. And I get on base percentage. I also get slugging percentage, and when you combine the two, OPS is a valuable stat as that fastball swung on. It's lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back underneath it is Shudo, and he's there to make the catch, and that is going to retire Matsumoto for the first out of the inning. One up and one away, and that'll bring Kaz Ishii to the plate. You know, one thing that OPS does not take into effect, especially with today's baseball, is the stolen bases. To me, when you have a guy like Esteury Ruiz, who stole 70-some-odd bases last year, and Ronald Acuna Jr., who was racking them up last year, and you've got Ellie De La Cruz with 50-plus now. If you take their on-base percentage and you add the stolen bases to that, as if it was basically a walk is just as good or as a double when you steal a base, I think that's a number that would be more valuable in the statistic, because all of a sudden somebody gets on and they steal a base. That's huge. It's a free bag. So OPS, in my opinion, plus stolen bases, as that breaking ball swung on and missed, starts to give you a little bit more valuable player. So you've got a guy who is a bit of a rabbit and can run. That is going to change his OPS, as opposed to a guy that maybe just hits with power and can't run at all. So the fastball is taken for a called strike. The count is 0-2. But that's my own personal opinion. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count goes to 1-2. Usually if you try to give links, it gets shot down there, spaceman. Doesn't get, or doesn't apply to everybody. People or don't end up seeing it. That's one of the things we don't usually, we can't really pass out the direct links in the feed here. Plus, that could potentially get us into trouble depending on what it is. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Ishii on strikes. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 fighters up and 2 fighters away, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Chusei Manami, who's been the only fighter player to reach base tonight. So you drew a walk back in inning number 3. So Manami striding to the plate. Batting from the right side here. 251 with the 14 homers and 45 runs driven in. And he waits here on the offering from the lefty. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Manami. Friend Darren says, I think you'd do great if you covered a UFC fight one night. The problem is honestly, I don't know enough about UFC. There was a fastball swung on its loop softly over to second, fielded on a hop by Kawase. He makes the play and throws it out the runner, Manami, but boy, was that awkward. That's a ground out 4-3 for the third out in the inning. That is going to do it here for the Fighters. No runs, no hits, no errors. I'll come back and talk about that sort of stuff in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in tonight. The Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel, halfway in the books. As we're moving to the bottom of the fifth in this one, it is a 1-0 lead for the Hawks. We'll be right back in just a few. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game. He's always got some crazy stuff.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the bottom half of inning number 5. Our friend Garen says, I think you should do a UFC fight one night and have the voice for it. Well, unfortunately, as I say, I don't really know a whole lot about that stuff. I was more of a boxing fan than I am a grappling fan or a UFC fan. Not that the UFC fighters aren't tremendous athletes. Things that they can do are pretty much unbelievable. I got a full-on respect for the sport. I just don't really follow it. I don't find it to be something that I really enjoy. And it's just, that's the way it is. I was always kind of the boxing fan, never a Greco-Roman wrestling type fan or martial arts, jiu-jitsu or judo, any of that type of stuff, taekwondo. And certainly the UFC has a mix of different martial arts. There's a first pitch fastball swung on it, is popped up over on the first base side. Camping out underneath it in the first base coach's box is Kiyomiya, and he's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Masaki for the first out. So one pitch and one away here in inning number 5. It's going to bring up the left fielder, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. And for Yanagamachi, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He has popped out to left field his only time to the plate. So 0 for 1 here in this one. So as I say, it's not necessarily the part for me that I necessarily enjoy is that stuff. Other people said I should do some basketball or maybe even football, but the problem is it just gets in the way of other stuff. I can't necessarily do it, even though I'd like to do it. I'd also want to find a way to be regular in doing it. First pitch was a breaking ball that missed Yanagamachi. It's ball 1 to him. Ready to deliver again. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. It's popped up foul over on the third base side. It could be playable. Gunji is backing up, and he's right in front of the temporary seating, and he's there to make the catch. So we got 2 gone here in the 5th inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Takashi Umino. So Umino coming to bat here as he is 0 for 1 in this one. He struck out his only time up. He hits from the right side. He's batting $175 on the year with that 1 homer and 6 RBIs. As the right-hander Ito double pumps and delivers, it is a breaking ball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0 to Umino. Showed bunt on that. Be interested to see if he actually would lay it down. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. This game here has had a pretty good clip to it tonight. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. An hour and 12 minutes deep. Another thing for our friend Jeremy will come up as a fastball swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2. After this half inning, we like to call it the Japanese halftime because they take an extended break between the 5th and the 6th innings. Gives us a chance to get up and go to the washroom and I'll tell you a little story why I call it Japanese halftime, but it's maybe probably Asian halftime is more realistic. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. As that is going to retire the Hawks here in their half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We got 5 complete in the books. We are going to take our extended break here. Your score as we move to the top of the 6th inning, it is the Hawks 1 and the Fighters no score. We'll be back in just a few, everybody. We'll carry on with our discussions. Great questions tonight from the chat. Appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. The top of the 6th inning is just around the corner here, as this game here is a 1-0 lead for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks over the visitors from Hokkaido, the Nippon-Ham Fighters. It is a 1-0 game also in the bottom of the 5th inning, as the Marines have a 1-0 lead over the Buffaloes. That game is going on at the Osaka Dome or the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. Game that'll be getting going in just a little bit longer time. Actually, it'll be about approximately about 3 hours time, if my clock is correct. It'll go off at the Belluna Dome. It'll be the Eagles and the Lions. And then in game that's underway just now is the Giants and the Swallows. That's in the bottom of the 1st at the Tokyo Dome. And for almost 4 hours from now, it will be the Tigers and the Bay Stars from Yokohama and the Carp and the Dragons at the Mazda Zoom Zoom Stadium in Hiroshima. Those games will go off a little later this evening. So those are the games that are going on right now, and we're glad that you guys could be here with us tonight to tune into this. Our friend Tudo in the house here. We welcome you, Tudo. Tudo here to cheer on the Hawks, as this is where we stand. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, everybody. We're going to be right back as it is going to be the top of the 6th inning when we return. Your score line is the Hawks 1, the Fighters no score. Not a lot of traffic on the base paths. Only 2 hits in this one, and both belong to the Hawks. So stick around. We might have something brewing here when we come back in just a few. Hang tight, everybody.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.
Welcome back, everybody. Ozeki's completed his warm-up tosses, and he's going to be facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters here in the batting order. And it looks like we may have ourselves a pinch hitter. It could be Daigo Kamikawa Kabata's night could be over. We'll have to take a look here, as it looks like it is number 23. Who is this coming about here? Is this Tori Fushimi? We must have missed somebody here. How is it that Fushimi is hitting? I got Kamikawa Kabata. The count is 1-0 here, although we've already missed a note. So that is 1 ball and 1 strike to Fushimi. As Kamikawa Kabata is already been retired, we'll have to catch that one up for you in just a moment. We apologize for us getting back a little bit later than anticipated, so we'll catch that up here in just a second. Looks like it was a grounder to second by Kamikawa Kabata. As Fushimi takes that one for a strike, and the count is now at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Fushimi. Ozeki ready to go again as he rocks himself into the windup. And he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Top of the 6th inning, Hawks are clinging to a 1-0 lead. The stat line is 1-2-0 for the Hawks, 0-0 for the Fighters. Those are your line scores in this one here. As the lefty Ozeki ready to go again. He rocks himself into the windup, kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Not deep enough, as in front of the warning track is the left fielder Yanagamachi. He's there to make the catch. And there is now 2 away here, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Shun Mizutani. And for Mizutani tonight, he is 0 for 2. He has grounded to short and struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. Really broke onto the scene here in the NPB during the interleague play, as he was absolutely unbelievable, the MVP of interleague baseball. As the lefty Ozeki rocks himself into the windup, kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and it squirts away from Amino, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We have seen Mizutani. He has swung the bat really well to announce his NPB career, but boy, oh boy, has he made some ugly defensive plays. There's a fastball that comes inside and hits him right in the back foot. And it looks like, is he going to get the base here, or did he even make an attempt to move? Looks like the home plate umpire is kind of giving him the thumb to get going to the base. We're going to look at that one again. I don't know. I'm a little mixed on this one. He didn't even attempt to move. The ball came in and he just stood there. There was absolutely no effort, and it looked like it caught him on the top of the shoelaces on the right foot. But he is going to be awarded first base on the hit by pitch, and that's going to bring up Kataro Kiyomita to the plate. Friend Jake C is in the house. He says, anyone know how to stream this? Yeah, there's a bunch of people in here. I'm sure, Jake, if you maybe wait, some folks might be able to give you some advice. Our friend who was in here earlier would be Zay. Zay might give you some information. Maybe even the spaceman, if he's around still, could help you out. Or if you would have listened to the stream last night, it was given about 3 or 4 times, and then you'd be able to go hunt down the stream from there. The information was provided on multiple levels at a lot of depth. So here is the left-handed hitting first baseman of the Fighters, Kotaro Kiyomiya. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out twice. He's hitting .271 with 5 homers and 21 RBIs. And here comes the offering from the lefty. He kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and fouled off into the feet. Kiyomiya, and the count is quickly 0-1. Another one I mentioned the other night, I haven't tried it yet, is Amazon Prime Japan, but you got to have a VPN. Apparently they are calling, or they have games that are available through them. I have to go and take a peek at that. And certainly if you have a VPN, that's going to allow you to open up many more doors than if you don't. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Kiyomiya. As Ozeki delivers, it is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, Spaceman says VPN Amazon Prime to a Japanese area. 100%. It allows you to open up some of those doors. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the lefty Ozeki delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 1-2 on Kiyomiya. And Spaceman says, yeah, like 1 game a night is going to be there, depending on who that game will be. There's a few others out there too. I just can't off the top of my head, and we've had a listing of them. If you go into our pace site, we have don't have a lot of stuff there, but if you do go in there, then that's something that you can look at. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Kiyomiya's in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Fighters. There was no runs, no hits, no errors. There was a runner left on base as Mizutani was hit by the pitch. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your scores: the Hawks 1-0 for the Fighters. Our friend Jeremy's tapping out. Appreciate you for jumping in here tonight. And we also have Spaceman giving his information as well. We'll be back in just a few, guys. Bottom of the 7th, just around the corner. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and coming to bat here for Fukuoka will be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order. That means it's going to be Yukio Shudo, Hirokaro Kawase, and Kenta Imamiya to try to get things going for the Hawks as they cling to a 1-0 lead here through the first 5.5 innings of the ball game. Our friend Jake C says that works really well. Well, and what some people do is they'll sync up the commentary to go with the game, so hopefully you stick around. And if not, make sure you make that 1.6 million yen deposit to our nearest account. So the first pitch delivered to Yukio Shudo is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. A lot of people do is they will sync up the coverage of the game and the stuff that we're doing so they can watch and enjoy both. As that fastball misses inside, and the count is 1-1 to Shudo. Yeah, that's where it works kind of in some degrees there, Jake. So that's good. The Giants are on the other one. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. The count is 2-1. It was funny last year when I was at the Yamuri at the Tokyo Dome. I was talking to one of the guys. They were wanting to know if I was interested in the Giants TV or whatever it was. I think I might even still have it. I don't have it with me here, but I can take a look. And one of the things was, I said to him, well, why don't you have it so that people in North America or other parts of the world, as that fastball swung on and missed, counts 2-2, like in Europe or wherever, can enjoy watching the games. Because you think about it, what a marketplace. I mean, if everybody here was in our stream and could pay $5 a month to stream their favorite team, for $30 a year US, fastball swung on and lifted into the seats and the count remains at 2-2. I mean, why wouldn't you do it? I mean, really, at the end of the day, $5 a month, what is that? That's a coffee in some parts of the country, maybe a medium size or a large size coffee, or a couple of cups of coffee. So you're paying 2 cups of coffee a month to be able to watch your favorite NPB team. There's a breaking ball swung on and it is lifted foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 2-2 to Shudo. And so they lose that revenue because there's people that are in our stream here tonight that are looking for the free streams or wherever they can get their hands on. And it's unreliable, but even if it was so cheap, you would probably do it. And you think about that same theory years ago when they had Napster and they had all the different stuff. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. And the count remains at 2s to Shudo. Was it Napster, LimeWire, where the people were sharing different music and they were giving all that stuff and the artists weren't getting the money from it? They were all upset. Of course, Apple comes along and says, hey, we'll sell your tunes for $1 a song. At first, they got upset about it, but then, hey, what's 99 cents? What's 69 cents? There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count now is full to Shudo. Our friend Spaceman says, Japanese marketing is great, so I don't get why they don't catch on with sports. Yeah, absolutely. But here's another thing, too, that I also noticed when I was there, Spaceman. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and grounded foul past the first base coach's box, and this battle will continue. 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to Yukio Shudo. But one of the things that I noticed last year is I was literally sitting in a shopping mall in Tokyo and watching people walk by, and you would just not see people wearing Giants or Lions or any type of T-shirts or stuff related to the baseball team, not even hats. You could sit there for like literally an hour as that pitch was swung on and fouled away, and the count continues to be 3-2, and the battle continues here over Shudo. Jake says they do KBO on DraftKings, don't know why they can't do NPB. That's a good question. And also, too, is DAZN used to carry the NPB, and to be honest with you, the NPB is a better quality of baseball than the KBO, as that fastball swung on it is popped up over on the left side of the infield. Camping out underneath it is Kamikawa Kabata, and he makes the catch. And Shudo, after a battle, is gone for the first out of the inning. So he is retired for the first out here. That was a 6, 9, 10, it looks like 11 pitch at bat. As he is gone for out number 1, and it brings up the top of the order in Hikaru Kawase. Now, Spaceman says DAZN used to have a deal in place. Yes, they did. It's unfortunate. Maybe I just don't know how they market it or whatever else. I think that, when you have the likes of Otani and, Yamamoto in Major League Baseball, certainly with Roki Sasaki on the way, these are all players that could, I say benefit, but would be pretty good to be able to see moving forward. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball's lifted into center field. Moving over to his left is Matsumoto. He's there to make the catch, and there is now 2 away. So 2 gone here. Our friend Trevor Parker said he could not agree more. Way better baseball than the KBO. Yeah, the KBO, in a lot of ways, like there are 2 or 3 teams that are just as good as any NPB team, in my opinion. And then there's 2 or 3 teams that are kind of, that I would say that they're a mix of, professional players and I would say good college type players. And then you got some teams that looks like they're running high schoolers out in the outfield. Absolute hot garbage, I guess would be the way you would want to put it. First pitch is a fastball swung on and missed by Kenta Imamiya, and the count is quickly 0-1. Spaceman says NPB is better. Well, the NPB is just the way the game is played. I like it a lot better. I can get into the dissecting tonight's game with you as far as how I watch some of that stuff as that ball's popped up over on the third base line, camping out underneath it. And making the catch is the third baseman, Gunji, and that is going to do it here for the Hawks as they go quietly in their half of the sixth inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now through 6 complete. Your score is the Hawks won, the Fighters no score. We'll talk about more baseball in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being with us here tonight. I'll be back in just a moment. There's a couple things in the chat that caught my attention, but we'll be back in just a few after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the back third of the ball game, and it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Fighters, Gunji, Reyes, and Matsumoto to face the lefty Ozeki. Our friend Jake C. asked the question, said, what do you think of the 2 missed strike calls in the Philly-Seattle game that cost the Phillies the 6th straight? I have to be honest with you. If you're talking about the game that the Mariners put an 8 spot on them, which was last night, I kind of flicked it off pretty quick because Justin Turner hit the grand slam to pile it on. I did take a peek in at it, so I really can't comment on the 2 pitches you were talking about, but I will say this, as the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, 1 ball and no strikes to Gunji. I was watching the game between the Tigers and the Royals tonight, and there were a couple of plays that went to review, and I was like, we got the reviews, and they were either they reversed the calls or kept the calls. Fastball swung on, grounded on 1 hop to the third baseman, Kurihara, who throws it to first. And Gunji is gone as he hits it to his opposite number, ground out 5-3 for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring Franmil Reyes to the plate. One of the things that I was thinking about, at least when I was watching the game, is we have all this technology, but yet we still can't seem to get the right calls. It's the part that just makes me kind of chuckle a bit. So Reyes steps in here at the plate, and the first pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses down on the way, and the count is 1-0. Trevor says, they call it third base. I thought he was, or was it too close to call? Well, I will say this, though. I have to say the tag, I think it was Matt Vierling was playing third at the time. As that breaking ball is waved at and missed, the count is 1-1. That there was some movement at third base for the Tigers. So whoever made that slide into third, it was a good slide. The tag was terrible because you always teach kids or whoever, get the ball, get it to the base, because the player has to slide to the bag. Don't reach for the player. And, anyways, he caught the ball and he was reaching for the player and he got swum on and ended up that the batter was safe. And there was a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be looped into right field for a base hit. And that's going to be the first hit of the ball game here for the Fighters, as Franmil Reyes is aboard with a single. So 6 1/3 no-hit innings in the books here for Ozeki is gone sideways as Franmil Reyes breaks up the no-no here in the 7th inning. So Trevor says, yeah, it was a nice slide. I agree. And as far as I'm concerned on that one there, that was actually when we're talking about the slide at third base, it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner coming in here for the Franimal. It's going to be number 50 coming into the ball game, and we're trying to get a look at to see who that is. So number 50 in the game, and right now, of course, I'm looking at the Fukuoka lineup, so there is no 50 there. So Ryota Isobata in the pinch run for Reyes, as they have a conference of Hawks on the mound. So Ryota Isobata in the pinch run for Reyes, who breaks up the no-no. Now, that's another piece to that, too, at Trevor Parker, is the guy's also got the oven mitt. I was listening to Dan Petrie a couple of weeks ago, the former Tiger pitcher and Angels pitcher who does broadcasts for Detroit, and he was talking about the oven mitt should be outlawed because a player can sometimes get 3 or 4 more extra inches wearing the oven mitt. When you used to teach young people how to steal, you don't use the oven mitt. You use the batting gloves, you put them in your hand, you pick up some dirt, you hold the dirt in your hand. And that's how you would often run, because when you would slide, you would have your hands slightly clenched. And that way there, when you would slide in the base, you weren't extending your fingers and possibly breaking a finger. As that first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Matsumoto. Friend Donald Diamond says, I'd rather much see the challenges rather than robots. Yeah, I agree with that. And in fact, I'd almost rather see the challenges go away, because yeah, we have all this technology, but unfortunately, all the technology, we can't even get it right when we have it. So I'm okay with not having technology, because it also gives us something to talk about. And that would be sometimes how poor the umpires really are. The other part that I also found frustrating is there was a play at first base tonight that had got flipped over. And we were talking about in tennis, they have the lines where they have that system. I forget what they call it, the Hawkeye system, where you can see if the ball bounces on the line or not. Well, how can you not determine that on the players reaching the base safely or not? As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Isobata. Friend Spaceman is laughing. He says, yeah, you could literally wide hand the end of the mitt and gain 6 inches. Yeah, 100%. Every woman's dream. Here's the pitch. There's a pitch out. Not going anywhere is the runner Isobata, and that's going to run the count even now to 1-1 on Matsumoto. Trevor says, I'm with you on the umpires making the calls. And, that's another piece to this, too, is that you're taking the human element of the game. We're not playing video games. It is not the video game system that you can program and play different people. It is Major League Baseball, and that is how you do things. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field, moving back and making the catch is Yannick Amachi. Hit the ball right on the screws, did Matsumoto, but right to the glove of the left fielder. And that is going to retire Matsumoto for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it all up to Kaz Ishii. My friend Sean, Network Blogs and Games in the House, he says, the Hawkeye system is one of the most speedy and accurate system. I'm amazed they haven't been able to expand it to foul balls, fair balls. Yeah, 100%, Sean. That is a very accurate piece right there. You've got the technology to be able to use that. How you can't get that in place for fair and foul balls, I don't know. I know in some places they may not necessarily chalk like they used to. They will spray paint stuff down. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Kazunori Ishii, as it is going to be Yuki Nomura coming in to hit for Ishii. So this is the first time we've seen Nomura in a couple of nights. So the runner at first is Isobata, and it is Nomura now batting here in place of Kaz Ishii. And the first pitch is ready to come here from the lefty as Ozeki kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted in deep center field. Giving chase is Shuto. He's looking up, and this ball is gone. A 2-run pinch hit home run by Yuki Nomura off the bench has now given the Fighters a 2-1 lead. And guess what, everybody? here we go again. This game now is looking a lot like last night, as the Fighters have now taken themselves a 2-1 lead. So it looked like they were pretty much death warmed over here through the first 6+ innings. And now Nomura has driven home Isobata, and it is a 2-1 Fighter lead here in the 7th inning. Unbelievable. Got to say, I really didn't see that coming. It's been pretty much a methodical up and down game here, but that was a breaking ball that hung up. It was more moving on the horizontal plane than it was vertically. A roundhouse curveball driven into the seats, and that is going to bring up Chusei Manami, who is going to swing at the first pitch and foul it off right into his shins. And the count is 0-1. Our friend Jake C says, I can see VAR ruins a lot of soccer games from being high scoring. Yeah, that's true. I also don't like the fact that it does slow the game down. You've got times where the pitcher's standing around on the mound, breaks up the rhythm and the continuity of the game. Now, maybe I got an argument. At the same point in time, in that situation, maybe it is, where some common sense comes back into the game. The ball beats you to the base, it's close enough, you're out. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And Donald Diamond says, yeah, MLB definitely does not want lower scoring games. They want games that have higher output. As there's a fastball swung on, and this is going to be hooked foul into the seats, and the count goes to 1-2. Xander Morrison jumps in wanting to know where he can watch this. Well, if you scroll up in the chat, about 20 minutes ago, Xander, there's all kinds of information there for you, so you just have to go and hunt for it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Manami. 2 gone here in the 7th inning, and the Fighters have taken a 2-1 lead over the Hawks. Now time has been called as Zeki steps off the rubber and reaches for the rosin bag, and we're going to get this one redone again here. As the lefty delivers a breaking ball that misses down, the count now goes to 2-2. Donald said he took this game at the under 3.5. Well, it was looking like it could be that way for quite a while here, as the runs were at a premium. Now, all of a sudden, just like that, a 2-run homer has made this game a little more interesting. And there's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Manami is in the books for the 3rd out of the inning. That is going to do it here, but there has been damage done as the Fighters get 2 runs in the inning on the 2-run homer, pinch hit homer by Yuki Nomura to almost straightaway center field. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Over to the bottom of the 7th inning, your score is the Fighters 2 and the Hawks 1. Stick around, everybody. The bottom of the 7th is just around the corner. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Hawks. That means Ryoya Kurihara, Hotaka Yamakawa, and Kensuke Kondo to get things going here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. This ball game here has taken a bit of a strange turn. Our friend Trevor Parker says, trust me, don't cash out. This game here, he figures it's going to hit He's probably not all that wrong, as definitely sometimes here you can see that these games just take some crazy twists out of nowhere. Where do those runs come from? It was like instant offense. The solo shot off the bat of the third baseman Kurihara, and then a 2-run pinch hit shot from Nomura. We didn't see any of those coming. The way the two pitchers have been throwing tonight. So that now is going to bring the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to plate here for the Hawks. Line scores 2-2-0 for the Fighters, 1-2-0 for the Hawks. As it is pretty interesting stuff here now. So as this game is ready to resume, as it is still Ito on the mound for the Fighters, and now he's pitching with a lead. The first pitch is a fastball that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kurihara. And why do I just feel like this game here is just going to stall out again, as that pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away. Only 77 pitches, 75 through the first 6 innings for Ito. 77 here in the 7th inning. He's probably got a lot left in the tank. Fighters may not have to turn to their bullpen tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and tapped foul over on the first base side. The count is 1-2. Trevor Parker asked the question if it is still 1-0 in the Buffaloes game. That game is, yes, still 1-0, and it is in the bottom of the 6th inning. As the Buffaloes are batting but trailing the Marines. It's 2-0 for the Giants over the Swallows, as that fastball misses inside. Almost hits Kurihara, but looks like the home plate umpire says it did. I don't know about that. If there's going to be time for the replay, this might be it. And let's take a look at it ourselves before we go to replay. It was a breaking ball that was coming inside. He hopscotched out of the way. Oh, yeah, it did hit him. You're going to get hit. That's where you want to get hit. It looked like it barely caught him on the pant leg. So he is going to be hit by a pitch, and he'll be the leadoff runner here for the Hawks. And that's going to bring up Hotaka Yamakawa. Yeah, so if you're going to get drilled, that's how you want to get drilled. Our friend Spaceman says, here we go. Well, Yamakawa stepping to the plate. He knows how to put the ball in the seats. He had a home run in last night's ball game, his 19th on the season. As he bats here facing the right-hander Ito. As the right-hander works himself to the set. Fushimi sets up middle away, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow center field. Coming in hard is Matsumoto. He makes the catch. They're throwing back to first, and they almost double off Kurihara. I don't know where he was going. I'm going to maybe take a look at that one on the replay and see if he did get back in time, but that's going to retire Yamakawa on a fly ball to center field. Nice throw by the center fielder, Matsumoto, who had caught the ball, and he came up and let her rip. No, the runner did get back in time. Nice play by the first baseman, Kiyomiya, to stretch off of the base to try to hold his ground there. But retreating safely back to the bag was Kurihara. That's going to bring up Kensuke Kondo to the plate, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Spaceman says, missed the good old days of taking one. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. There's a fastball that misses upstairs to Kondo, and the count is 1-0. Remember, we got ice, and it's not just for the drinks. Apply that to the spot that you got dotted on. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Kurihara. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kondo. Runner at first is Kurihara. There's 1 gone here in the 7th. As Kondo is waggling the bat. As Ito checks the runner, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Kondo. We do have a lot of entertainment here tonight in this one, as the runs have been scored all on account of home runs. A home run by Kurihara, a solo shot for the Hawks, and Nomura's 2-run shot for the Fighters has put them out in front. This race is like a race of snails. Who's going to finish the slowest? There is a fastball swung on, is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. But Hammy picks it up. Stopping at second is Kurihara. Now the Hawks have got something brewing here, as it is going to be Tomoya Masaki coming to the plate with runners at first and second and one gone. So the Hawks now starting to flap their wings a little bit. And Masaki looking for his first hit of the evening. He is struck out looking and popped to first in his 2 trips to the plate. Fighters do have action in their bullpen as they've got a left-hander up and throwing. So we'll see where this ends up shaping up. As Ito has got himself into his first jam of the evening, I would say. Only had a runner to second base back in the second or third inning when Shuto had doubled. And then the home run that left the yard by Kurihara. I don't know if that really counts. So here comes the first offering to Masaki as the right-hander Ito delivers. Breaking ball swung on, grounded to third. They go to second for one, back to first. And it's not going to be in time as Kiyomiya was pulled off the base. But here comes the big boss out of the dugout. And he wants to go have a look. Speaking of VAR, right on schedule. So we're going to have to wait and see if that is going to be a double play. No matter what, Kondo is going to be gone at second for the second out of the inning. We're just waiting to see if it is a double play of the 6-4-3 variety or if it is a 6-4 fielder's choice. So hang tight with us, everybody. We'll get a look at the replay ourselves, give you our thoughts. I will say this, in Major League Baseball, we've not been very good with our predictions, but in the NPB, I lost track. I know I've only got one wrong this year so far. I think we're like 14 for 15 or 15 for 16. When we get a look at the replay. So we're going to get a look here at the back end and see if we can make the call ourselves. Yeah, I think that the call is right. I think the first base umpire on that angle will get a different look here. That different look doesn't give us a whole lot either. The umpire is in a bad position. He's blocking us. Maybe this will give us a better telltale sign. I think the umpire made the right call. I think he's going to be safe. I think we're going to have runners on the corners with 2 out. I like that other angle that they have. It's a multi-angle. It's almost like a 360. That's going to be a quick decision, and the home plate umpire comes out and gives the safe call. So it is going to be a fielder's choice. It does erase Kondo at second on a 6-4 putout. And safe at first is Masaki. Kurihara goes over to third, and it's going to bring the left fielder Tetsuro Yanagamachi to the plate. So far in the Japanese League, we are spot on. In Major League Baseball, well, not so much. So runners at the corners here with 2 gone. The Hawks are threatening. Yanagamachi, who has enjoyed himself a nice season, is stepping up here looking to do some damage. He is 0 for 2 in this one here today, as he bats from the left side here against Ito. First pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. Yanagamachi on the season, he's got himself a couple of homers and 22 runs driven in. Entered the fray tonight hitting north of 300. So right-hander against the left-hander as Ito gets his sign from Fushimi. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, hammered foul just past the bag at first base. Oh boy, that would have stayed fair. It might have been questionable. They would have definitely got one, but it could have scored Masaki all the way from first. But it is definitively a foul ball. So it was a few feet just to the right of the foul line. So no balls and 2 strikes to the Fukuoka left fielder. Ozeki is still throwing in front of the dugout. And so it looks like he's going to be coming on for the 8th inning. As Kurihara is the runner over at third base. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses. The count is now 1-2 to Yanagamachi. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. After this one is done tonight, we will give you the full roundup from around the NPB. So be sure to stick with us as we'll give you the full recap on this and everything else that goes with it. We're here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Yanagamachi with 2 gone, runners on the corners. Hawks are threatening. Pitch, fastball, swung on and missed. Yanagamachi in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There were no errors, and 2 Hawks left the board. We're now through 7 complete. Your score is the Fighters 2 and the Hawks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 8th in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the top of the 8th inning, and coming to bat are the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Fighters. That means Kamikawa Kabata, Fushimi, and the top of the order, Mizutani. As the first pitch from Ozeki is on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. 86 pitches through 7 innings for the Fukuoka left-hander. As the 1-0 pitch is on the way to Kamikawa Kabata. It's a fastball ticket for called strike. The count is 1-1. Kamikawa Kabata hitting .246 on the year, homer and 8 runs driven in. As he waits here on the offering from the lefty Ozeki, who rocks himself into the windup. And he kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, tonight talking about the differences between the NPB and Major League Baseball. As the pitch is on the way, it's a slow breaking ball that misses outside. It's now 3-1 to Kamikawa Kabata. And some of the way the game is played is a little bit different as well. We were watching the Tigers and the Royals tonight, and just certain situations that couldn't understand what the managers were doing, as there's a fastball that's taken for called strike, and the count is now 3-2. Had a situation in the bottom of the 11th inning. The Tigers had runners on the corners, nobody out, and the game was tied. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the lefty fires it as a fastball swung on and lifted foul. Count remains at 3-2. And I would have put Javi Baez, the runner at first, in motion, try to steal second base. Because in that spot, they had Parker Meadows at third, who's got good wheels. And they would have stole the base, then maybe they walked the next hitter to load the bases. Anyways, ended up that the catcher, Jake Rogers, ended up bouncing into a 6-3 double play on the very first pitch. As that fastball swung out and fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2 to Kamikawa Kabata. But the reason being is that situation there, you had an opportunity to be able to create a little bit of havoc with the wheels, because Javi Baez, even though he's getting a little long or older in age, he still can run a little bit. It's one of the tools he still can do. There's a fastball that misses inside. They appeal to the third base umpire, but they say Kamikawa Kabata didn't go. He's going to draw himself a leadoff walk here. That'll bring up the catcher, Tori Fushimi. And there was another situation as well where they had the runner on base at third base, and you thought, well, maybe if they walk the batter, puts runners on the corners, maybe they could give themselves an opportunity for force. Another situation, and just, late in the game, we're talking through some situations and kind of wondering why they wouldn't do certain things. That brings Fushimi to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded to third and flown to left. He's already squaring to bunt as the pitcher throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner, Kamikawa Kabata. So Fushimi, who is 0 for 2 here, looking to advance the runner into scoring position. Again, squaring to bunt. Here's the pitch. It is bunted, and it's down, and it is just going to roll foul down the third base line. It's going to run the count to 0-1 on Fushimi. He did get the ball down. He had struggles last night. He was trying to bunt. So curious to see if they're going to give him the bunt sign again. The masked men in the Hokkaido dugout, the Big Boss, is wearing his mask, as is his assistant coach there, who is flashing the signs to the third base coach. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-handed hitting Fushimi digs himself in, and we anticipate the bunt will be on here again. Trying to get him into scoring position. The top of the order is Atani, Kiyomiya, and Gunji are coming up here. Some cracks to bring home the runner from second. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside. Count runs even to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. You take a quick peek at that out-of-town scoreboard. And currently, still in the bottom of the 4th inning, it is 2-0 for the Giants over the Swallows. 1-0 for the Marines. Bottom of the 7th inning between them and the Buffaloes. As Amino steps out in front of the plate and flashes the signs to the defense. As we're ready to resume the action here. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tori Fushimi. Fushimi again squaring to bunt. Here comes the pitch. Fastball bunted foul behind home plate, and the count now goes to 1-2. We'll see if they keep it on here. In my world, they do. I think I would be keeping the bunt on. I'm not going to give Fushimi the hall pass of not getting the job done. So Tori Fushimi in the hole here with no balls and 2 strikes, waiting on Ozeki to deliver again. Yep, and he is already squaring to bunt. 3 times is a charm. And here comes the pitch. Got to get the job done to get the runner over. Here comes the 0-2 or the 1-2. And it is bunted and it's down, and it's a good one. Fielded by Ozeki. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Fushimi. That's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to go in the books as 1-3 on the putout. Advancing over to second is Kamikawa Kabata. It's going to bring the top of the order and Shun Mizutami to the plate. And I'm actually fond of that with 2 strikes to be bunting in that spot. My friend Spaceman says he's going to be calling it a night. We appreciate you for being in here with us, Spaceman. He said he's had himself a bit of a rough day. We know for that reason why. But we hope everything else is going well. There is a conference on the mound as the Hawks have come out to talk to their young pitcher here. So we do have a break in the action, and our friend undrafted player in the house from France here. He says he's just sent in all his fan requests to the NPB teams for this year. And Fabian, if you email me and send me your address, maybe I'll send you something from Japan in a couple of weeks' time. You've got to send me the email on our website. Just go into that area there and type it in and you'll be able to get a hold of us. And we would be more than happy to try to accommodate you with something. It might even be better than the NPB teams. I don't know if he actually got anything. I remember a couple of years ago, the Buffaloes were the only teams that responded to him. I don't know how last year went, as that fastball misses up and away, and the count is 1-0 to Mizutani. For those of you who don't know, undrafted player is from France, and he likes watching all the sports around the globe, and he jumps in here from time to time. Of course, the Olympics are going on in France right now, keeping probably the attention of many of the locals. Breaking ball swung on and hammered foul just past the bag at third base. Count goes even to 1-1 on Mizutani. So 1 ball and 1 strike here. Didn't miss by much. I have to say the ball boy down the third baseline didn't make a great play of that one. He made a bit of a meal of it more than anything. 100 pitches now for the lefty as he is still in the ball game. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down. And the count goes to 2-1 on Mizutani. Starting to get into the deep water here in this ball game. The Hawks opened up the scoring in the 4th inning on a solo shot by Kurihara. And in the 7th inning, it was the 2-run pinch hit homer by Yuki Nomura to put the Fighters ahead here 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. This is going to be hooked foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats about 20 rows just to the foul side portion of the foul pole, and that runs the count to 2-2. So Fighters and Hawks are in the top of the 8th. It's been an interesting game, not as entertaining as last night. Last night was a lot of action. Here the action is coming a little different way, as it's been more of a pitcher's duel, so to speak. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Ozeki nods in agreement as he gets his sign from his catcher, Amino. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. Count remains at 2-2 to Mizutani. And I think if I'm in this position here, I'm throwing breaking balls or a steady diet of it here to the Fighters left fielder. He has struggled tonight with the breaking stuff. He waves out a lot of pitches and misses. Maybe bury one into his back foot and see if you can get him swinging and missing here. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as Ozeki gets the sign from Amino. Works himself set to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. The breaking ball swung on. This was hammered right into the temporary seating, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, that's not the breaking ball that I was thinking of. That one was a bit of a hanger, and Mizutani definitely banged it. The one that Ozeki usually throws that he has tied Mizutani up with is a slow breaking ball that has a lot of 12-6 vertical movement. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As he's waiting here on the offering from Ozeki. And the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on. This is grounded foul just past the third base coach's box. And the battle will continue. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to the Fighters left fielder. Welcome, everybody, tonight to the stream, whether you listen live or on delay. We appreciate you guys for jumping in with us. It is a 2-1 game, as we mentioned here, for the Fighters as they bat in the top of the 8th inning. Both of these starting pitchers are still in the ballgame. Ozeki is north of 100 pitches now as he gets his sign from Amino. He comes to agreement. The 2-2 pitch is on the way as Mizutani looks in. And here comes the pitch. He kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This is lifted down the right field line. It is slicing, moving over underneath it, and making the catch is Masaki. And retreating back to second base is the base runner, Kamikawa Kabata. So unable to advance the runner, Mizutani is gone for the second out of the inning. He's gone for out number 2, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Kataro Kiyomiya. Well, for Kiyomiya, he was the big man last night as he had accounted for a 3-run homer, as well as knocking in another run with a single in the first inning of last night's game. He had 4 of the 8 runs driven in last night for the Hokkaido Ball Club. But tonight he's been rather quiet. He is grounded to first, he's grounded to short, and he has struck out in his 3 trips to the plate. But a blow here could extend the lead for the Fighters. So his average on the season now is .269. He has got himself 5 homers and 21 runs driven in. Here comes the first pitch from Ozeki. It is a fastball swung on, grounded softly down to the first baseman, Yamakawa, and he's going to be there to make the play. He takes it and steps on the base himself, and that is going to do it. A ground out to 3 to end the inning. And the Fighters go quietly in their half of the 8th. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left the board. We are now moving to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Your score is the Fighters 2, the Hawks 1. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us. We'll be right back in just a bit. Well, we've got an entertaining ball game on our hands here. We'll be back in just a few. Your score is the Fighters 2 and the Hawks 1. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat here for the Hawks in their half of the 8th inning. That means Takashi Amino, Yukio Shudo at the top of the order, Hikaru Kawase to face the right-hander Hiromi Ito, as we are yet to see if Ito is going to be coming back out onto the mound. Nope, it looks like we are going to have a pitching change as they are going to the bullpen. It is going to be a left-hander coming into the game. It's number 25. It's going to be Naoki Miyanishi. So Ito's night is done as he leaves here after 7 innings with the lead. But he is turning the ball over to Naoki Miyanishi, a lefty who is coming on in relief. So Miyanishi, ready to take over here as he has just completed his warm-up tosses. 2-1 game here for the Fighters, bottom of the 8th inning, as they are ready to go here. We do look like we have a pinch hitter, and it is going to be, I believe, on the first look, I think it's Taisi Makihara. That's exactly who is coming to bat here for Amino. So Amino's night will be done. That'll be probably Takuya Kai will come in to replace him as the first pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count is 1-0. So Taisi Makihara on as the pinch hitter. The lefty Miyanishi holds set. Now he kicks and fires. Fastball, take it for a called strike. Oh, I don't think that Makihara enjoyed that call, as that looked like it was just a little bit up and in. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Lefty Miyanishi gets his sign. Here comes the pitch as he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined just over the head of the leaping second baseman. And that is going to get down over the head of Nomura. Makihara is aboard with a leadoff single here in the 8th. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Yukio Shudo. So if our friend Zay is still listening in, he's going to start biting his fingernails now, because now the Hawks are going to be setting the table here with the bottom part of the order. Curious to see if they're going to bunt Shudo or not, or if they're going to let him swing away. Shudo's got some wheels, so he is dangerous no matter what he does. So Shudo tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a double and 2 trips. He is squaring to bunt, and he drops it down. It's a decent one. They're going to have to hurry, and they are able to throw him out, but he's going to advance Makihara over to second. It's a sacrifice. It's going to go in the books as 1 to 4 on the putout. As Makihara has now got himself into scoring position. He'll bring up the top of the order in Hikaru Kawase. Or at least it's supposed to bring up Kawase up. We'll see if they've got any other tricks up their sleeves, do the Hawks. It does look like we're going to have another pinch hitter here. Looks like it's going to be Akira Nakamura. I like that. They call him the lefty sniper, Akira Nakamura. So Nakamura coming to the plate as the pinch hitter for Kawase. Friend Xander asked the question, who is batting? Well, we'll give you some information here, Xander. First of all, the visiting team is the Fighters. They are on the left of your screen. The home team is the Hawks. They are on the right. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, so that would be the home team. As there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Nakamura. So that would be the Hawks who are hitting right now. So no balls and 1 strike. Nakamura batting from the left side with the runner, Taisi Makihara, at second. As they kick and deliver, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and now Nakamura is in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Taisi Makihara, the runner, at second. 1 gone here, and Akira Nakamura looking to do some damage. Hawk fans are cheering him on. Waiting on deck is Kenta Imamiya. Hawks looking to get back in this game. Here's the 0-2. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So this is the one thing I will say that is a drawback of the NPB, that at first I wasn't a big fan of the clock, the way it kept the game moving in Major League Baseball. I have to say it does quicken up the games big time. Certainly when the relievers come in the Japanese league, that is where the pace really starts to slow. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty Miyanishi delivers. As the breaking ball swung on and lifted foul, it's going to reach the seats down the third base side. Count remains a 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nakamura. The pace of the play when the relievers come in, it just changes the tempo of the game. So watching some of the Major League Baseball games, and it does that there as well. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the lefty delivers, it's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into left center field. Moving over is Matsumoto. He's there. He makes the catch. And retreating back to second is the base runner, Makihara. So Nakamura gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to Kenta Imamiya. So Imamiya comes to bat. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He has popped the third, popped the first, and he has struck out looking in his 3 trips. We're going to see what the big boss has in mind here, as this may be the end of the rope here for these pitcher Miyanishi. And that's exactly what it is. We're going to have a pitching change here, everybody, so we're just going to take a quick time out. We'll be right back in just a few. It is a 2-1 scoreline. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. We got a pitching change, everybody. We'll get you that when we return in just a few. It is a right-hander coming in for the Fighters. We'll be back in about 40 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. The pitcher that is coming on in, it's going to be Takahita Ikeda to face Kenta Imamiya here with 2 gone in the 8th inning. Runner at second is the pinch hitter Taisi Makihara. As Imamiya comes to bat here, the outfield is playing in very shallow. If it is a base hit, they're going to have to try to throw the runner out at the plate. So here comes the first offering as the right-hander holds set, now delivers. Fastball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Imamiya. So 1 ball and no strikes. 2-1 is the scoreline here as the Fighters are clinging to that lead. As it is the Hawks who are batting here in the bottom of the 8th inning with a couple of gone. A runner in scoring position. So here comes the offering from Imamiya as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses in the left-handed batter's box. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Taking a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, as there is other scores around the NPB. 2-1, the Giants have the lead over the Swallows in the bottom of the 5th. Game is at the Tokyo Dome. 1-0 Marines still have the lead over the Buffaloes. That's in the top of the 8th inning at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. This one here is 2-1 for the Fighters, as we mentioned. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, lifted into left field. Moving over and making the catch on the run is the left fielder. It was Mizutani, but I do believe that is a new left fielder. It might be Daiki Asama. I didn't see the change. And that is going to do it here for the Hawks in their innings. Well, they got no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There were no errors, and they did strand 1. We are now moving to the top of the 9th inning. Your score is the Fighters 2 and the Hawks 1. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight. It is Last Raps Baseball and the NPB when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change for the Hawks. It's going to be Ryotaro Sawayanagi, who is on in relief. I hope I said that correctly. It is his first time. I think we've seen him this year. So Sawayanagi on in relief, as he is taking over here for Tomohisa Ozeki. So Sawa Yanagi, the right-hander on, and it is Takuya Kai in behind the plate, as he is going to be taking over the duties here. It is going to be Taisi Makihara on at second base, as he's going to take over for Kawase. So those are the changes here. And coming to bat for the Fighters, we've got Gunji Isobata and Matsumoto. And Gunji today is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice, and he's flown out to center field. So the first pitch on the way from the right-hander, and it is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it with plenty of room is Masaki, and he makes the catch. With one pitch, we have one away here in the ninth inning, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Ryota Isobata. And for Isobata, it's going to be his first at bat of the evening, so we'll just confirm it is going to be Isobata here to hit, as he had come in to pinch run for Franmil Reyes. So we'll see if they keep that decision here. It is going to be Isobata. He had scored the first run of the ball game as he was driven home by the Fighters' Yuki Nomura with that 2-run shot. There's a fastball that bounces up to the plate. The count is 1-0. Franmil Reyes had got that party started in the 7th inning with 1 out with a single, as he was pinch run for. Isobata scored the run as he came around on the 2-run shot by Nomura, which has given the Fighters a 2-1 lead as they bat here in the top of the 9th inning. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander Sawa Yanagi delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Good hitting count here for Isobata. We mentioned again that we will be back on the airwaves again next weekend. We will make our decision midweek as to what we're going to cover. We may squeeze 1 or 2 major league games in. There is a fastball ticket for a called strike. Either way, we're happy that you folks have found your way to our channel tonight and can join us for all the action. 2 balls and 1 strike as Sawa Yanagi kicks and delivers. Fastball moves the left-handed hitting Isobata off the plate, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Sawa Yanagi ready to go again as he leans in and gets the sign from his catcher, Takuya Kai. We said Kai coming in here at the back end of the ball game. Here comes the 3-1. Pitch on the way. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and now the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander against the left-hander. Sawa Yanagi ready to face Isobata with a 3-2 count here, as he works himself set. And now he kicks and delivers a fastball that misses outside. That's going to be ball 4. And that is going to put the runner aboard, and I'll bring up the center fielder, Go Matsumoto. And for Matsumoto, he is 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded to short. He has flown to center, and he has aligned to the left fielder. As Isobata reaches first base here with 1 gone. Matsumoto will be a tough player to double up, as he does still run fairly well. On the season, his average has dropped to 253. He's got a homer and 15 RBIs. He does have 16 stolen bases, as we were talking about the running well part. So Sawa Yanagi works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I got to say that was borderline being really quick to the plate. And they say that there's supposed to be a 3-second rule that you're supposed to hold set in the NPB. Our friend earlier that was in here with us was asking about some different stuff. Our friend God is Great is listening in the car. He's doing some volunteer work. There goes the runner. It's a fastball that misses down. Kai picks it up. He throws down to second. Oh, my goodness. What a throw by Takuya Kai. That was a really difficult pitch, and the big boss is racing out. And he looked like he wanted to go and review that one, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Unbelievable throw by Takuya Kai. The pitch was a fastball that was down and away. He had picked it up. He threw it almost like 3/4 arm, right on the money. And they were able to nail the runner at second base, Isobata. Oh, boy. Now that is some quality baseball right there. Caught stealing 2-6 for the second out of the inning. I didn't get the pitch on that. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Matsumoto. And here comes the offering. It's a fastball that misses down. The count now is 2-1. Our friend God is Great says, what do you think about Murakami and his home run hits? I think they said it was something like the 6th or 7th consecutive year in a row that he's hit 20 or more homers. I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to him. I'm going to get a chance to see him. I'm curious to see what he looks like this year. When I first saw Murakami defensively a couple of years ago, it looked like he had two duck feet. As there's a fastball that is driven into center field. It's going to be a base hit for Matsumoto. So he's aboard with a 2-out single, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Yuki Nomura. A good piece of hitting there by Matsumoto as he was able to square up that ball. So back to Murakami for a second. I don't know if I like his bat. I'm not sure. I know he's been hitting a ton of home runs, or he's hit tons of home runs in the NPB. I don't know if I would put him that much further ahead than Yoshi Tsutsugo in some ways. Might insult a few people on that one. People might not like what we have to say. It is Taiki Narama who is coming to bat here, and the first pitch is missed for a ball. So Narama is hitting in the place of Yuki Nomura. So Taiki Narama getting his first at bat of the evening. The pitch coming from the right-hander misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So Sawa Yanagi is starting to struggle a little bit here. So Yuji Lizuka comes in and says the Hawks have a chance to win. Of course they do. It's a 2-1 game. And they got the best part of their batting order coming up to bat. So they have a chance. Doesn't mean they're going to do it, but they got a chance. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses. The throw down to second. And that's going to be in time. Oh, my goodness. It's the Takuya Kai show here in the top of the 9th inning. Unbelievable. He's just gunned down Go Matsumoto. That's going to be caught stealing 2-6. So he guns down 2 runners in the 9th. Oh, boy, if there's going to be an MVP for this one, maybe it's Takuya Kai off the bench. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now through 8.5 innings. Your score is the Fighters 2 and the Hawks 1. Just taking a look right here to see if they're going to maybe review that or not, but I don't think they are. We're going to go to our little timeout here. We'll be back with the bottom of the 9th inning in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being with us here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Let's give Takuya Kai his props.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change. It's going to be the closer, Seiji Tanaka, coming in to try to seal the deal, but he's got a tough row to hoe. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat. Ryoya Kurihara, Hotaka Yamakawa, and Kensuke Kondo to face the right-hander. Looks like it's going to be Nakashima, who is going in to play second base here for the Fighters defensively. So that is where we stand here. Hawks are down to their final 3 outs. We saw the right-hander Seiji Tanaka pitch last night, and I have to say he wasn't the most impressive. So we'll see how this goes. And the first pitch is missed for a ball, and the count is 1-0. He was able to get himself squirm himself out of the jam last night. But Tanaka is definitely, you're going to be biting your nails. There's a fastball 95 miles an hour swung on and missed, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kurihara. Kurihara tonight has been the offense for the Hawks. He's got the solo shot back in the 4th. So he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike. The count is 1-2. Officially, he's 1 for 2 tonight with that home run. He lined out to third, and he was hit by a pitch. And his other trips to the plate. Here comes the 1-2 offering as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ryoya Kurihara. Right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Manami picks it up and he fires it back in, and I can guarantee you this. We are definitely not going to be seeing any bunting here for the next couple of hitters, as it's going to bring Hotaka Yamakawa to the plate. Yamakawa, the big fella, is 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out twice and flown out to center. He is in scoring position the moment he steps up into the batter's box. So Trevor Parker is still fist pumping for that under 2.5. I'll say this, 2 things are going to happen here. Either he's going to deposit one into the seats and he's going to walk it off, or it's going to ground into a double play. So you guys pick your poison. And the first pitch is a fastball that is swung through and missed. That last pitch was at 96 miles an hour on the gun, so the count is quickly 0-1 to Yamakawa. So Yuji says, is the comeback going to happen? Well, what do you think, Yuji? You might be listening to it right here. Here's the 0-1. Fastball swung on, belted into the left field corner. It's down for a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is Kurihara, and he is going to stop there. And now the Hawks have something brewing as they got runners at second and third with nobody out. And that is going to bring Kensuke Kondo to the plate. So runners at second and third, nobody out. The Hawks have got something brewing here. Good job by the big fella to keep his hands inside the ball. He lined it right over the head of the leaping third baseman Gunji into the corner. Ball kicked around, but was able to come up with it. Was the left fielder Asama, and that is going to be the end of the night for Yamakawa, as they're going to get a pinch runner in for the big guy, and they have a conference on the mound. The Fighters pitching coach is out here to talk to his closer, Tanaka. Friend Addy Thacker Video says, when will the match end? Well, either when there's 3 outs, or if the Hawks put 2 runs on the board, that's when the match will end. So we'll see what happens here in just a couple of moments. And check that. It's actually, they have intentionally walked Kensuke Kondo to load the bases, and probably the right decision. So now they got the bases loaded here. They're going to have to gun down the runner at the plate as Tomoya Masaki is coming to the plate. But it looks like that is what's going to happen here. He's hitting .312 on the season, homer and 13 RBIs. So the bases are full of Hawks. Nobody out here. Bottom of the ninth inning. And the right-hander Tanaka delivers a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. Trevor says, how dumb is that to load the bases? Actually, it's pretty smart because what it does is it sets up the force at the plate as opposed to having runners at second and third. What difference does it make? You've got runners at second and third. A base hit could score 2. In this situation here, if it's in the infield, you've got the force right to the plate. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving back on it is Manami. It looks like it's deep enough. Here comes the throw to the plate. And it is going to be cut off, and then it is overthrown. But backing up the play as the pitcher, everybody has tagged and advanced. So a sacrifice fly to 9. RBI for Masaki. Advancing to third is Yamakawa. Advancing to second, or I should say, is the runner for Yamakawa. Advancing to second is Kondo. And Kurihara has scored his second run of the game, and we are locked at 2s. Here in the bottom of the ninth, and it's going to bring up Tetsuro Yanagamachi. So Yanagamachi coming to the plate. And if you're asking me, Trevor, I would load the bases again. That way it sets up the force, and you've got yourself double play possibilities up the middle and at the plate. We'll see what the Fighters' big boss has decided here. Because after Yanagamachi, it was Taisi Makihara. As the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Tatsuro Yanagamachi. Gamachi is 0 for 3 tonight. As the Hawk fans are pretty excited about this one. Our friend Yuji, who jumped in here, probably just as excited. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. Well, we saw Tanaka last night, and he looked fairly shaky in his relief appearance in yesterday's ball game. After getting the first out, he allowed a single, and then got the second out, allowed another single. So here we are on back-to-back nights. It's not been a good appearance in Fukuoka for him. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats. The count now is 1-2 to Yanagamachi. Deep fly ball here would more than likely be enough to get the runner in from third. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the left-handed hitting left fielder of the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the righty holds set, he kicks and delivers. Fastball that comes inside. He checks his swing and fouls it off over on the third base side. And the battle will continue. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yanagamachi. Appreciate everybody for jumping in here tonight. As we said, if you listen live or on delay, be sure to forget to hit that subscribe button, as we'll let you know when we are going to be back on the air with Japanese baseball. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded up the middle. That's going to be a base hit, and that is going to do it as Yanagamachi walks it off with an RBI single. And the Hawks have won the ball game 3-2 as they come from behind here in the bottom of the ninth inning with a pair of runs. There were 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your final score is Fukuoka 3, Hokkaido 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll wrap it up for you in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Glad you guys could be in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Good
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Well, thanks again, everybody, for listening in tonight. That was another entertaining game between these two ball clubs, and I can say this, that we are sure glad to have made the decision to call the Hawks and the Fighters again tonight. Back-to-back ball games of high-end entertainment value. We'll give you the quick recap on this one, the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we're going to sign it off on the evening. It was the Hawks who opened up the scoring in the fourth inning when Ryoya Kurihara stepped up with one out and deposited a solo shot into the seats to make it 1-0 Fukuoka. In the top of the seventh inning, with one gone, it was Franmil Reyes getting the first hit of the ball game for the Fighters, breaking up the no-hitter from Ozeki, who went 6 1/3 of no-hit ball. Then with two out, it was a pinch hitter, Yuki Nomura, stepped up and deposited a 2-run shot almost to straightaway center field to put the Fighters ahead 2-1. Well, we went to the bottom of the ninth inning. That's where the wheels fell off the apple cart. It was a leadoff single by Ryoya Kurihara, and then Otake Yamakawa smashed the double into the left field corner. That put runners at second and third. Kensuke Kondo was intentionally walked, and that brought up Tomoya Masaki to the plate, who had a sacrifice fly to right field, bringing home Kurihara with the tying run. Then it was Tetsuro Yanagamachi stepping up to the plate, and he delivered a base hit single up the middle that brought home the pinch runner for Yamakawa to make the scoreline 3-2. Again, your final, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 3 and the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters 2. Other scores from the out-of-town scoreboard in the top of the ninth inning. It is 1-0 for the Marines over the Buffaloes. In the bottom of the seventh inning, it is the Giants 2-1 over the Swallows. Once again, everybody, we really appreciate everybody for listening in here tonight. And everybody who stopped in for the first time, we thank you guys again for being here. Yuji, Zay, Addy, our friend, everybody else, Trevor Parker, who was fist pumping in this game here tonight. Not to mention some of the other ones who were in here earlier, our friend Troll, not to mention undrafted player, Spaceman, Donald Diamond, everybody else, Brandon. If I missed you, it's not because we missed you. It's because there was just a lot of people that stopped through tonight. Not to mention Jeremy Orr as well. Have a great night, everybody. We will catch you again on the flip side. Appreciate you for jumping in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.